Hello, couch sitters. Welcome back to the show. Uh, Today, what we're going to be doing is our best 17s for all of the NRL sides. So, similar to what we did with the Super Rugby sides before that season got underway, we're going to run through all 17 sides, just alphabetically. So today we're going to be doing the Broncos, the Raiders, the Bulldogs, and the Sharks. And we'll try to get through all of those teams before the season kicks off. But before we do that, Willie, you had a fan mail you wanted to share. Is that right?
Yeah, it's actually quite a nice one compared to some of the other ones we get. It's more a food for thought one. It's from Joseph Sharant from Hawea. He says, "Hey guys, love the potty, love the Phoenix. Who would you say the best shooter in the A-League is?" Unsure why he specified shooter and not just like goal scorer or striker, but or something like that. But he
Mm,
wants to know who the best shooter in the league is. So,
mm,
who would you say?
So conversions, we're looking for well, we're not. We're just looking for straight shooting, aren't we?
Mm,
So I'll go the young gun from Adelaide, Archie Goodwin. I quite like how he shoots.
mm,
Yeah, he'd go really well in the army. In fact, Archie Goodwin. So
yeah.
yeah, good at
Okay.
shooting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go home. Who would you like to opt for?
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I'd probably go Joe Lolly. I think he can just thump a ball pretty well. So like you say, I think he'd be pretty good on the front line. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, nice. Yeah, hard to disagree with Joe Lolly. He can certainly strike a ball.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that, Joseph Sherrington. I hope that we've given you some insight there. So yeah, what are your thoughts? So we move on.
All right. So do you want to start with your Broncos best 17 for the season?
Yeah, so at fullback, Reece Walsh, wing of Cobbo and Arthurs, centres, Mariner, Staggs, halves, Hunt and Reynolds. Anything you change from that back line?
Uh,
I think
yeah.
it's
So
pretty
no, no.
self-explanatory.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Wouldn't change anything. My only thing would be, so what do you reckon they'll do when Ezra Mam comes back? Do you reckon he's just going to be playing reserve grade, or what do you think they'll do? Put Ben
I
Hunt at
think he
nine,
might
or
be I think he might be the bus driver.
yeah,
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 yeah.
no,
No,
that's it. Yeah,
I think Hunt will go to 9. Um,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Hunt
yeah. It'll
9
just be
and
interesting.
then Mammon.
Yeah, I guess it would just be interesting if Hunt's in like unbelievable form in the halves, eh? So that'll be the
Mm,
only thing that'll be really interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I imagine that's what's going to happen. But yeah, until he's back, that'll be the back line, I'd say.
Yeah, forwards, Haas. I think they're going to start with Moser at 9. The dirty surfer looking guy who just looks like a breather. Um, I've heard that they're going to start Carrigan up front um, and play Hetherington at lock to start anyway. And
Yeah,
then the edges of Pekka and Jordan Ricky, the girls' wet dream.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's similar to what they did last year. I mean in terms of, I think that edge back row isn't great, but they probably yeah. Here's just a bit off topic for you. If they do Hetherington at 13, will you get baited on fantasy again? Because every time he gets a start, so many people get baited. Eh?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think even if he starts, like, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Like, I think he's just there
Yeah,
to start, and then Kerrigan will go back to lock, like, after
mm,
20 minutes, half an hour. Like, yeah, I don't expect massive minutes from him as a lock, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sweet. And your interchange?
Um, Gone Corey Paix. I don't reckon Billy Walters is playing anymore now that his dad's been
Yeah,
kicked off the coaching staff because he is just a trash player. Then a couple of young gun forwards of Willison and Takura. I reckon that Takura might get a bit more of a start this year, and then Corey Jensen as well.
yeah, yeah. No, I can. I don't really have anyone in mind that's springing to mind that I'd find a spot for. I guess
Yeah,
Willison and Sakura are both huge, like bit of a twin towers off the bench, eh?
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it'd be cool to see a bit more of Takura because well, I guess he's built like someone that should be a pretty good league player, but obviously
exactly.
hasn't been given much of a shot yet.
No, I
Yeah,
think
sweet.
Madge will actually use him unlike Kevy.
Yeah. And again, this is why we had them. Both of us had them top four. I had them
Yeah,
second. I think you had them fourth, though. But
yeah,
yeah,
something like that.
it's not many weaknesses in that team. Eh? I'm
No,
probably
no.
the edge and maybe a little bit of inexperience on the bench, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Sweet. All right. So my Raiders best 17 for the season. So quite a bit of inexperience, but a lot of guys that got game time last year, so they'll be better for the run. So back three, Xavier Weeks at fullback. With sorry, Kyle
Xavier
Weeks at
Weeks.
Xavier
Yeah, yeah,
Weeks. Getting
yeah,
bloody
yeah.
Xavier Savage and Kyle Weeks mixed up. Kyle Weeks at fullback, Xavier Savage and Albert Hopewadi on the wings, and then your classic Raiders centers of Matt Tomoko and Seb Chris. My favourite player,
Yeah,
Seb
the
Chris. Yeah,
Neanderthal. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, halves of Ethan Strange, who's a gun, I reckon, with Jamal Fogarty. Um, yeah, you happy with the back line? What you want to
Yeah,
make
no,
change?
I think that's pretty standard. I'll be interested to see if they're gonna do anything with that other guy they got for is it Ethan Sanders from the Eels? I think there's quite high
Yeah,
reps on him in the half, so I don't know if
yeah,
he's gonna like if they move Strange out to centre at some stage or not and have
mm,
Sanders and Fogarty, but
yeah. Maybe
yeah.
I can't see it, but I think Strange is
Mm,
such a good six. But
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
And then even I was tossing up Chevy Stewart because I know they kind of liked
Yeah,
him last year. I kind of find a spot for him, but I don't think he did enough when he
exactly.
played.
No, I don't think. Yeah, Weeks actually did pretty good last year as well, so I think he probably did
Yeah,
enough to cement the spot to start anyway.
yeah. Right, and then forward pack's actually pretty handy. So up front, the same props as the last bloody 10 years with them. Josh Papali'i and Joe Tapine. Danny Levi hooker, he kind of got the nod last year for the most part, and I
Mm,
think he's solid enough. He'll keep it. Edge forwards are Hudson Young and Zach Hosking. So Zach Hosking again to go into a bit of a fantasy, take a fantasy angle when he plays 80, he can obviously score well. So if he gets that each spot and he's playing 80 or even close to it, he could be an option.
mm,
I can't remember what he's priced at though, but anyway.
yeah,
Morgan Smithy's at 13, who obviously was really good last year. And then the bench, Tommy Starling, who's just like the most classic number 14 of all time. That guy's just
yeah, yeah,
born with a 14 jersey.
yeah.
Um, Corey Horsburgh, as kind of like, I haven't gone a direct edge cover.
Mm,
So Corey Horsburgh can kind of cover the edge, but also lock. And then I've just gone Trey Mooney and Adam Mariota. Um, just so
yeah,
quite a lot of props, I guess. But yeah, anything you'd change?
yeah. Nah, that's pretty standard Raiders team, isn't it? Like, I don't think
Yeah,
they. I think that's pretty much what you come to expect from them. Yeah, like you say with Tom Starling, he's just a born to be a 14. Like anytime he's
yeah,
had the starting spot, hasn't made it work, and then like he always just is impact off the bench. So, unfortunately for him, he'll be stuck in that role for the rest of his life.
yeah, yeah. They have signed an English guy apparently. I can't remember his name, and I can't remember. I think he might be a forward, but yeah, I don't know him, so I've just left him out for
Mm,
now. So yeah,
yeah,
alrighty.
that's
Do you
that's
want to?
hardly a shot. Hardly a shot. The
Yeah,
Raiders signing an English player. Yeah.
yeah, they love it. Eh? All right, back to you, man.
Onto the bullies. Um, Ishay, brah. Okay, let's go. At the back, AJ Tracy, Connor Tracy at the back, with on the wing, Wilson and Carraz. Carraz, dirty player.
Yeah,
Just a walking tackle break. In the centres, gone for Peptide Sherry and Stephen Crichton, with Burton and Sexton in the halves. Then then up front, Max King and Sam Hughes, with Reid Marnie, the biggest pest in the league, the wannabe Mick Ennis, Mick
yeah,
Ennis in there.
yeah.
And then on the edges, solid edges of Kickout and Preston, and then I think they might go Josh Curran at lock, but I wouldn't be surprised if they put one of those smaller guys like Bailey Hayward there and then have Josh Curran as a prop coming on. So I'll go Curran to start at 13, but wouldn't be surprised if they use one of their other utilities because I think Kurt Mann's still out at the start of the year, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, and then on the bench, that Curtis Morin, quite a dirty player. They're really undersized, but they're
yeah,
quite hearty, these players. The Tilly Tufanua moving from the Roosters. I think he's quite a good pickup for their bench, and their versatility, and Ryan Sutton on there as well. So yeah, yeah, I think it's pretty decent team, pretty similar to last year. No real
yeah,
changes apart from Tufanua on the bench. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, I love those wingers. I love Wilson and Perez. I think they're two of the
Mm,
best wingers in the comp, like in terms of a combination. I think Blake
yeah,
Wilson was awesome. Like, he came when he broke onto the scene last year. He was just so exciting to watch, rapid and just
yeah,
loves a line break. And then Perez like one of my favorites, especially for
yeah,
fantasy. Just plug him in just for the offloads
yeah,
and
yeah,
tackle break, and
yeah.
he just loves it. They just play through injuries. He's just the man. Is Carl Oluwapu back this year? He'll be
I
back,
think
He's in the
so. Yeah,
NRL.
yeah,
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 it'd be interesting to see if they can he was like kind of the perfect 14, eh? Like he could play a bit of hooker in the halves and in the lock.
yeah.
Yeah, another one of those like smaller guys that kind of rips in.
Well,
Um,
I think he was only six. How old was he when he debuted? Like
oh, 18, yeah, just
18.
18, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
My only concern for them, yeah, I think they are like the same as last year. Like I don't really reckon they've upgraded. We both
yeah.
obviously had them up in the top eight, but where they might get let down, I reckon, is definitely their front row. They've still got pretty
No.
inexperienced front rowers, so
Yeah, yeah.
Jackson thing I like, and Hughes is alright, but yeah, I don't know.
Mm,
I think that will be the area where they potentially get let down. But yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
sweet. All right, and then on to the Sharkies. So the
Your
last of
favorite
the
team?
yeah, sure. Um, Yeah, and it is a good side when you look through this 1 to 17. So, um, again, a lot of this is similar to last year, apart from the obvious addition of Finoa Blake. But back three, Will
Hmm.
Kennedy, Sione Katoa, and Mulatalo. I haven't started Atkinson. I know that a lot of people like Atkinson, but I just don't think you can really start him over those three. Um, and then Jesse Raymond, Kyle Arrow at centre, obviously. Braden Trindle and Hines in the halves. It'll be interesting to see if Trindle does a lot, like it takes on a lot more of the kind of kicking and the organising, kind of like what he did
Mm,
towards the back end of last year. I think they
yeah,
almost looked better when he
they
did.
looked way better. Yeah, they looked way
Yeah,
better when he was actually running the cutter.
yeah. So I mean, it doesn't matter what jersey they wear, but you could put Hines in the
Mm,
6 and Trindle in the 7 because I think Trindle was a better 7. Um, and then up front, gone Hazelton partnering for Noah Blake.
mm,
I actually quite
yeah,
like Hazelton.
yeah. He's a dirty
Yeah,
player, isn't he? Yeah,
yeah, and he scored against the Warriors preseason as well. Like um, yeah, he's just a pest. Um, Blake Brayley at hooker, obviously edge of Teague Wilton and Nakora as usual, and then 13 of Cam McInnes as usual as well.
yeah.
Bench. So I have put Atkinson on the bench because I think you just have to put him in there somewhere. And then I've gone Hamlin, Ueli, and Oregon Kafusi as the reserve front rowers. And then Sifa Talakai as the reserve edge slash centre slash bloody plug in wherever you need. One of the most overrated flogs in the game. But sorry,
Mm.
yeah, I don't want to just talk too much. But yeah, that's just my
Mm,
view on there.
yeah.
So yeah, would you make any changes or no?
No, I think, like you say, it's still a pretty standard Sharks team from last year, just with that big addition. But yeah, I don't know. They're always a pretty exciting team to watch against anyone that's on the table six below. So um, so yeah, no, kind of looking forward to watching the Sharks again. They're definitely flat track bullies, and that team's pretty yeah. It'd be interesting to see how Hines and Trindle go this year.
Mm. They have put together a bloody incredible team. Like I look at that and I go far out. Like their ceiling is anything to be honest. Like
Mm.
apart from the
I
fact that
wouldn't
they've
actually
chosen.
be I wouldn't actually be surprised if they do a bit of experimenting with the fullback this year. I think they've reached their ceiling with Will Kennedy at the back. I reckon
Yeah,
they need something else. They're just like
yeah,
they need something else to get them over the hump. So I don't know if they're gonna. Apparently they got a couple of good young guns coming through. So
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like
mm,
Kennedy's safe, but is he gonna
yeah, no,
win you a big game? I mean, I don't know.
no,
But he does
definitely
the
not.
job. So it's that balance of like, I guess, yeah, it just depends. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, he is getting on. He's obviously been around for a while now, so yeah,
mm,
you're probably quite right. But I think yeah, like we said in the NRL preview show, their weakness in the last 3 or 4 years has been their front rowers.
mm.
Um, and that they've really sort of just by bringing in Fanua Blake, it just looks so much stronger. Like last year, they'd be
Yeah, yeah.
starting either Kafusi and Hazelton, or they'd be starting
Or like
Luca,
Royce Hunt.
yeah, Royce Hunt, or they'd be starting um, Hamlin Ueli, and
Right.
there's just a
Yeah,
combination of the rest of these guys. And these guys are good off the bench props, but to start them is just nah. So
yeah, yeah,
I think just Fanua Blake, it strengthens their bench too by shifting one of those guys back down there. So yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But
absolutely.
I do have a scenario for you today. But do you have
Yeah.
anything else before I get to that?
No, 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 you jump straight in. Just remember to shout out to those that paved the way for us.
All right. So this is yeah, the scenario sponsored by one of the great sponsors, Williams Farming Corporation Limited, um, where you go for all your needs in terms of the agricultural side of things. So here's my scenario for you, Willie, in London today. So first part of the scenario is you are an Eshe. Okay, so you are an Eshe. You can only have one of these things happen: either Western Sydney Wanderers to win the A League, or the Doggies to win the NRL. Which one would you choose?
Oh, I think there has to be doggies win the NRL. Like you saw the absolute carnage that went on when there is yeah. It's like right now they're wearing the Western Sydney jerseys. They're at the game watching that, and then as soon as that, in a couple of weeks' times, they'll have the Bulldogs jersey underneath. So yeah, I know what you're saying. Um, but it just for me, it has to be the Bulldogs one. Like you saw their carry on when they just made the playoffs last year. It was like it was like one of those Tonga Samoa rugby league where they just start driving around and blasting music, kind of that kind of vibe. So yeah, I'll have to tap into that.
Yeah, see, yeah, so you've gone Doggies. I'd say Western Sydney because yeah, I mean it's incredible when either side does well because the fans are pretty bloody incredible. But um, yeah, I'll go Western Sydney. I think just to keep everyone, I guess, just to have a difference of opinion.
Yeah, no, fair enough. That's always it's always good to have different opinion.
All right. So that wraps up our NRL our preview show for the first four team. Well, not our preview show, our first four teams best 23s. Yes, stay tuned, and we'll get the other ones to you over the next wee while. Cheers.